The Gathering, written and narrated by Gabriel Garcia. Before we begin, it must be stated that no part of this audiobook may in any manner be reproduced, stored, or used to train artificial intelligence technologies or systems. Prologue. The night was bitterly cold, with sharp winds cutting through the trees. As the icy breeze stirred, the creatures of the night began to stir from their afternoon slumber. An eerie howl echoed through the forest, sounding out from a Wendigo and sending waves of fear through anyone who heard it. Dark shadows lurked, wild beasts prowled, and the absence of moonlight would have unsettled anyone, except for one individual. Dressed in a heavy robe, he knew that the howls were the least of his concerns. In the dim light of the moon, he raced through the forest, an ancient magical book clasped tightly under his arms. Though his legs ached with fatigue, he pressed on, sweat trickling down his brow as he reached the heart of the woods. As he approached his destination, the heavy robe began to weigh him down. He ducked beneath branches and leaped over small streams, finally arriving at the sacred stones of Olympus. The barking of the dogs heightened his anxiety, their masters closing in on him in pursuit. Time was running out. Dropping to his knees, he flipped open the leather book, frantically searching the pages until he spotted the spell he needed. Chrono Uxroki, the time spell. He retrieved a red gemstone from his cloak, placing it in the center of the stones. With his palms pressed together, he began the incantation in the ancient tongue of his people. As he spoke, the stones glowed and pulsed with a brilliant blue light. The outlined ring surrounding them swelled, tearing open a portal between time and space. Through the portal, images of ancient battles flickered into view, and he knew he had to choose quickly. With determination, he recited the final phrase. Just then, his pursuers arrived at the worst possible moment, disrupting his chant. The dogs panted heavily, drool dripping from their eager mouths. Their sharp teeth glinted in the moonlight, and their eyes glowed an ominous red. Among them were his people, led by Ares, the war god, and also sovereign of the pantheon. "We found him, my lord," one of the beast masters announced. "Excellent work," Ares replied, his beard stiff with the remnants of blood from countless battles. Clad in black armor with a tattered cape billowing behind him, he towered at around 8 feet tall, his muscular form thick like a tree trunk. Unsheathing his Xiphos sword, a reflection of the double-edged straight-sword from the Hellenistic era, he aimed it menacingly at the fleeing mage, his voice dripping with malice. "You've given us quite a chase, mage, but it ends here. Surrender, and I promise you a swift death." Ares spat. The mage remained frozen, continuing his incantation. A grave mistake. Ares, angered at being ignored, gestured for 2 soldiers to seize him. As they approached, they incinerated instantly before the protective barrier the mage had cast around the stones. Yet Ares was no ordinary soldier. "If you want something done right, do it yourself," Ares said, striding toward the barrier. Realizing the danger, the mage rushed to finish his spell. His heart raced as he heard the sound of the protective barrier cracking under Ares' advancing power. Filled with dread, he knew he couldn't afford a slip-up. Ignoring the chaos, he completed the incantation, and the portal erupted into the starlit sky before vanishing into thin air, leaving behind a bluish hue that painted the night sky. He breathed a sigh of relief, hoping the portal had reached its intended destination, planet Earth. Before Ares could reach him, the mage seized the gemstone and teleported it away. Fuming, Ares lunged forward, seizing the sorcerer by the neck and slamming him down to the ground. The impact shattered the sacred site's stone floor, breaking several of the sorcerer's ribs and causing a trickle of blood to escape the corner of his mouth. Ares pressed his blade against the sorcerer's neck, drawing even more blood. "You think you've outsmarted us, but how long can you keep summoning your champions for help?" he taunted. "Haven't you learned your lesson by now? All those deaths were on your head. What do you have to say for yourself?" In defiance, the man spat at Ares' face. Ares smirked at the gesture, lifting the sorcerer and tossing him over his shoulder like a sack. As he licked the blood from his sword, he gazed at the night sky and noticed a towering figure above him. Zeus, the lord of the skies. "I take it you know what had just transpired," Zeus remarked. "I'm tired of hunting down war bands in this god-forsaken region. Let me take my wrath out on some earthlings for a change. It'll be just like the old days, during the Great Purge." A twisted glee played on Ares' lips at the thought of war. "And what of the stone?" Zeus noticed neither the mage nor Ares held it. "The sorcerer knows where it is, and most likely concealed it in his village. Take him back to the castle and imprison him until further notice. While you're there, send out a scouting party to search the outlands until they locate the stone," Ares commanded. He handed the body over to Zeus, who promptly zipped off into the night. As Ares turned away from the sacred stones, he couldn't help but ponder what new warriors he and the others would soon face. A chuckle escaped him at the thought of fresh champions, believing they could emerge victorious. "They'll fall like all the others. Nothing will change."